The morning sun painted the streets gold, but Sisi woke up feeling heavy. Her eyes were tired, and her mind was noisy. She had dreamt again of shadows laughing, of something watching her from the other side of the wall. She sat up, rubbed her face and whispered, "It's just a dream." That morning, Sisi's phone wouldn't stop ringing. Clients wanted revisions. Friends wanted to hang out. One old classmate even texted, "You've been too quiet. You need phone, girl." She smiled a little, but something in her spirit felt restless. She wanted to pray, but her mind said, "Later, after work." That night, when she finally tried to pray, her head started to hurt, her words felt far, and her room felt dry. Still, she whispered, "Lord, I'm tired, but I'm here." And far away, the master frowned. "She's still calling him?" he hissed. The Montito bowed. "Yes, but weakly. Soon she will stop." The master's cane struck the floor. "Then push her deeper. Bring in fear. Bring in shame. Let her drown in small thoughts." By the next week, things had started to grow worse. Her boss, one of her biggest clients, called her during a meeting. "Sisi," his voice was sharp, "you've missed 2 deadlines. You're losing focus. What's going on with you?" "I'm sorry, sir. I'll fix it," she said softly. But even after the call ended, his words echoed in her head like a curse. "You're losing focus." She sighed deeply, holding her chest. Maybe I'm just not good enough anymore." That evening, she didn't pray, not even a whisper. Instead, she scrolled through her phone for hours, comparing herself to people online, people who seemed happier, richer, and better. Then, as if it wasn't enough, a man from her past suddenly reappeared, texting and calling her, saying all the right words. "You've been working too hard," he said. "You need someone to take care of you." And though she knew he wasn't what she needed, his attention felt comforting. The demons in the kingdom laughed louder that night. "She listens to flattery now," one of them hissed. "She's tired and confused and also distracted," another whispered, and the master's brain widened. "Good," the mighty fall quietly. Days passed, then weeks. Sisi's prayers faded completely. Her Bible gathered dust. Even worship songs made her restless. She told herself, "I'm just busy. I'll pray when I have time." But she never had time. Her home, once peaceful, now felt heavy. Some nights, she heard things. Footsteps, whispers, dreams that left her sweating and breathless. She would wake up, grab her pillow and whisper, "God, are you even there?" But heaven felt quiet, and that silence was the loudest noise she'd ever heard. Across the street, the ordinary house buzzed with celebration. The master stood proudly as his demons bowed. They continued with their operations. There was nobody to interrupt them now. This was a neighbor who they had subdued before Sisi's disturbing prayers. "She has stopped," the Montito announced. "She no longer prays. Even when she tries, her mind wanders. Her fire is gone." The master lifted his cane and struck it on the floor. "Good. Now let her sink. Let her believe she is forgotten. Let her heart grow empty, for an empty heart is easy to feel." Sisi didn't know that her breaking was only the beginning, because heaven was still watching quietly and patiently, waiting for the girl who once whispered prayers that shook her kingdom to find her voice again. One morning, Sisi opened her mail and saw the one message she feared most. "Hi Sisi, we appreciate your work, but we've decided to go in a different direction." It was her biggest client. She read it 3 times, hoping it would change. By noon, her hands started shaking. She couldn't eat or think. The mirror across the room showed a version of her she didn't recognize. She had tired eyes, messy hair, and lips that didn't remember how to smile. At night, she scrolled through her old work, the project she had worked on, wondering where she lost it. The whispers in her head then grew louder. "You're not good enough. You peaked too early. God is not even answering you anymore." Soon, she stopped praying. The good morning Jesus she used to whisper before getting out of bed disappeared. She stopped journaling. Then she fell sick. It started small with sleepless nights, pounding headaches, and a heavy chest. The doctor said it was stress, but she knew it was more than that. One evening, while waiting for her prescription at the pharmacy, a soft voice beside her said, "You look like someone who hasn't rested in years." Sisi turned. It was a woman, mid-40s maybe, with calm eyes and a voice that carried peace. "I'm fine," Sisi said again. The woman smiled gently. "You're not. I used to say that too." They talked for a few minutes. Sisi didn't know why she opened up to this stranger, but she did. About losing her clients, about how her prayers felt like echoes, about how empty she felt. The woman introduced herself as Grace. Before leaving, she said something that stuck with Sisi long after. "Sometimes, when your world gets quiet, it's not because God left, it's because He's watching who you will become in the silence." Grace tore a small paper from her notepad and wrote 3 things. "Be still and know that I am God," Psalm 46:10. "When my heart is overwhelmed, lead me to the rock that is higher than I," Psalm 61:2. "Even though I walk through the valley, I will fear no evil," Psalm 23:4. Say one of these every morning, Grace said. Even if you don't feel anything, just say it. That night, Sisi did. Her voice shook the first time. Be still and know that I am God. Nothing magical happened. No light, no thunder. But when she lay down, her chest didn't feel so tight. And somewhere unseen in the corner, where the shadows watched, the Montito frowned. She's waking up again, he hissed. By the second week, Sisi had started doing something she hadn't done in a long time. She read her Bible every morning before opening her laptop. She spoke the words out loud, slowly at first, then with more boldness. The Lord is my light and my salvation. Whom shall I fear? Greater is he that is in me than he that is in the world. At first, it felt strange, like speaking into the air. But soon, the air started listening. Her days began to shift. She was still a virtual assistant handling clients, but she did them with calm now. Her main client, a marketing firm owner named Mr. Collins, still sent harsh feedback sometimes, but she didn't break down anymore. When her laptop froze or her Wi-Fi glitched during meetings, she whispered, "Peace be still," and continued. But the peace didn't go unnoticed. In the Ingungun kingdom, the mood was changing again. The Montito leaped into the throne room, very furious. "Master, she's stronger than she's ever been now. In fact, she's starting to discover who she is. Our signals cannot even stay long in her house." Master Venom stood, his shadow stretched across the room. "Then we will go where no prayer should reach. If not, we're in trouble," he roared. He moved to the black mirror on the wall, touched its surface, and whispered something dark. The mirror rippled like water. "Let her see herself through our eyes," he said. "Let her reflection speak for us." That evening, Sisi had just finished a long call with Mr. Collins. He wasn't impressed again. "You're sleeping, Sisi," he said. "You used to be sharp. What's happening?" She apologized quietly. After the call, she sat in front of the mirror, brushing her hair, but her mind was full of noise. That was when she noticed it. Her reflection blinked slower than she did. She froze, and then she looked closer. Her reflection smiled, but she didn't. "Who are you?" she whispered. The reflection laughed softly. "Who am I? I'm you, Sisi, the real you, the tired one, the one that everyone is starting to see through." She gripped the edge of her table. "This isn't real." The reflection leaned forward. It had a low voice and a familiar voice. "You think your little prayers make you strong? Look at your life. Your client is losing trust. Your friends barely talk to you. You think heaven still listens?" The room grew colder as Sisi's heart pounded. The mirror shimmered like liquid shadow. Then something inside her rose, the quiet fire she had been rebuilding. Then she opened her Bible beside her, and with a shaky voice, she read out loud, "For the weapons of our warfare are not carnal, but mighty through God, to the pulling down of strongholds." The reflection twisted. Sisi's eyes blazed. Then she raised her right hand and said, "In the name of Jesus Christ, I command you, leave this place." The mirror cracked from the center outward. The reflection screamed, distorting into smoke. Master Venom's voice echoed faintly before fading. "You think this is over, girl?" And then silence. Sisi fell to her knees, shaking, not from fear this time, but power. Tears filled her eyes as she whispered, "I am who God sees I am. I am not afraid." Outside, the night wind shifted. Somewhere in the Ingungun, the candles went out, and the master's throne split into two. The morning after the mirror shattered, Sisi woke up feeling lighter. The air in her room was clean, like something heavy had finally lifted. She looked at her Bible on the table and smiled quietly. There were no more whispers, no more cold air, and no more shadows pretending to be her. Across the streets, the so-called ordinary house stood still. Too still. Inside the Ingungun kingdom, the walls had started to melt. The candles had burnt out themselves. The demons ran in confusion, hissing and clawing at each other. And for the first time, the house looked ordinary. Truly ordinary. The darkness was gone. But Sisi didn't know all this. She was only on her knees, whispering, "Thank you, Jesus. Thank you for peace." Then, as she stood up and stepped outside to get some air, she saw someone at the gate, a young woman, smiling, dressed in white jeans and a light blue shirt. Her face looked familiar, but soft, glowing like morning. "Grace?" Sisi called, surprised. The woman smiled wider. "Yes, Sisi, you remembered." Sisi blinked. "But how did you know my name?" Grace walked closer. Her steps were light, almost soundless. "I've always known your name," she said, "and I've been here longer than you think." Sisi tilted her head in confusion. "Were you from around here?" Grace chuckled softly. "You could say that. I was sent here for one person." Sisi, the kingdom shaker, Grace teased. Sisi froze. What did you just say? Grace touched her hand gently. The touch felt warm, almost like sunlight. You, Sisi, you're not ordinary. Heaven has been waiting for you to remember who you are. Sisi felt tears fill her eyes. So all this time, Grace nodded. All this time, God was fighting for you. The darkness only stayed because you forgot your own light. But now, she smiled again, looking up at the clear sky. Now, they know your name in hell, and they fear it. Yes, Sisi, study more. Pray more. You were sent here for a reason, and God has given you the power. He will fight through you. Grace finished. Me? Sisi whispered. A soft wind blew, and when Sisi turned again, Grace was gone. Just a single white feather on the ground where she had stood. She picked it up slowly, smiling through tears. So God really does listen when I pray, she whispered. I was his girl all along. And somewhere in the heavens, Grace smiled too.